Carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere is absolutely imperative for the existence of life on Earth itself. Now, of course, climate change is occurring where there's too much of a buildup of CO2 and other greenhouse gases like methane, and this is, of course, causing environmental destruction. But no carbon dioxide at all in Earth's atmosphere would be just as bad for life on Earth. A perfect example of this is Snowball Earth, which happened around 700 to 800 million years ago, where this happened because the atmosphere contains CO2. However, it can also be absorbed by things such as rocks through a thing known as silicate weathering when rain comes down and hits it and beats it down on it. But also, it can be absorbed by the ocean, for example, by forming carbonates, like sodium carbonate, for example. And when this happens, the CO2 is taken out of the atmosphere, so it's no longer warming the Earth. And this would lower, if it were to happen today, Earth's temperatures by 19 degrees Celsius on average. And the average temperature is about 16 degrees on Earth. So the average temperature would be freezing. And this happened during the period I was describing, Snowball Earth. Huge amounts of intensive volcanic activity had caused huge land masses to spring up all around the Earth, which meant huge amounts of rock was exposed to the atmosphere to absorb all the CO2 in the process I was describing earlier. And it was all around the equator, which meant that tropical warm environment was causing huge amounts of rain to hit it, enabling this weathering to occur at a huge rate, silicate weathering, absorbing all the CO2. And of course, the ocean held huge amounts of CO2 as well. I mean, in today's environment, if all the CO2 in the ocean were released, the average temperature would be 60 degrees higher, which would kill basically all life on Earth except for like in Antarctica and Greenland. So, as all of this CO2 was absorbed during Snowball Earth, it actually caused, well, a snowball effect, if you will, where it caused ice to form, and this ice covered the rock and reflected away sunlight into space, meaning the CO2 was less able to absorb sunlight, causing the atmosphere to cool even further, causing the formation of more ice, repeating the process, causing the Earth to cool dramatically. We know this because we've found evidence through the rock layers that there was ice at places at the equator during this period of time, as an ice sheet covered the Earth several kilometers thick from pole to pole, and this lasted for tens of millions of years, and it only ended because volcanoes started pushing up through the ice. And when this happened, because the whole Earth's surface was covered by this layer of ice, when the volcanoes erupted, there was no exposed rock to absorb all of their emitted CO2, causing the greenhouse effect to occur, warming up the planet, though. And the reason why this cycle didn't repeat was because the plates had actually moved further away from the equator, which meant this tropical environment that caused more rain, that caused silicate weathering, was over. And so that is the reason why